Well, hey everyone, I got some really cool things to talk to you about on this update today because a lot of cool things are happening. A lot of things are coming back up on the channel here, and we did check out the Superman 2 review I put out last week, and because that was a very difficult video to get out, I did a lot of reworking on that whole thing, a lot of editing, a lot of reshooting things, stuff that didn't work the first time. I had to go back and redo it and talk about it in a different way and reframe some certain things. It was a really difficult one because there's just a lot of information to give out in that video to tell about production problems in one version versus another and how things are going off between the lesser cut, the downer cut, all these different things. So I did a lot of work on it where it's kind of hard for me to sit down and watch it and not see how I kind of like splice things back and forth together, where I reshot something and put it back over here after I did shit days before. And for me, I can't see anything but the patchwork work I did on the whole thing. So hopefully for everyone else it comes out very, very smoothly, and you enjoyed it very much because there are a lot of likes on that, a lot of good comments, stuff like that, and just hope you checked it out and very much enjoyed what I had to say about that sequel. But there's another video that I already have up on Patreon, another review that I kind of got on the track of doing it so quickly. It's like I didn't really have the time to sit down and do a update video to kind of announce it ahead of time. So right now on Patreon there's a review of Mission Impossible 3, because I was like, okay, beginning of the year I was like, okay, I kind of want to do something a little more fresh, or something a little bit more modern, just something different on the channel, just introduce something else, a different kind of style of action film and whatnot. I was like, okay, I was thinking about just redoing my review on Rogue Nation I did on the opening weekend, and doing Fallout, which I never did a review on. I was like, okay, I want to kind of jump it on 3, because I feel like that's a good entry point, because obviously we had the first film, but then the second film was kind of like jump off the rails, a different tonal shift and all these different things. 3 feels like they kind of like soft rebooted the whole thing and just kind of on a more consistent track moving forward. So I feel like that's a good entry point to move forward on the set of reviews I have. So that's up on Patreon right now. You can go check it out. If you contribute $3 a month, you can get early access to that. So otherwise it'll drop sometime on Sunday for you guys. But right now you can check that out. And we have new commentaries. Steve and I got together. We got some stuff recorded for you guys. We're both doing very well. And we got commentaries recorded for the 25th anniversary of Batman Forever and the Pet Sematary remake. That's up on Patreon right now. Batman Forever 1 will hit YouTube on the 16th of June, which is the actual 25th anniversary of the release date of the film. Pet Sematary 2019 will come out about a week or so after that. So if you contribute $1 a month, you get access to that right now, and check that out, because if you people have already jumped up and supported things and are checking out the commentaries right now, they were fun. They're really damn good. I had a little trepidation before we started recording the first one. Steve, not so much, but me, I'm just nervous a little bit, because we hadn't done one in like 3 months or something like that, whatever the case was, since the beginning of March. It was like the longest gap we've ever had. I just feel like here and there, but once we started recording, everything was perfect on the smooth block of everything. Had no problems. We had a fun time doing this stuff. And we do have a few more that are in the bag. They'll come out in July. I'll promote those when the time comes. But right now, you can hit up Patreon and get those right now. Or if you want, you can just wait out and hit the YouTube versions when they go live. Stuff like that. So that's cool stuff. We got that going. Trent, I'm going to be working things out. I was just like, I want to get the Mission Impossible 3 video just taken care of before I start dealing with anything else. So we also have something else that I pitched to him that he's very excited for. He very much likes the idea. Haven't figured it all out, but there's going to be potentially more audio content that are not commentaries potentially coming out to you guys sometime in the future. So got to figure things out, but that's a thing, because we were kind of thinking about recording things kind of remotely over streaming, stuff like that, and I got this sort of because I replaced the thing I had from the last video, where it was this sort of weird Y splitter, combiner, condenser cable, stuff like that. Didn't fucking work. But I got this nice USB adapter thing where it has ports to have an input for a microphone and an output for a headset. Worked absolutely perfectly. perfectly. No problem whatsoever. We did a kind of a test run type of thing just to have a chat online, and did a little bit of recording. Came out very smoothly, very nicely, but we just kind of couldn't quite get everything sorted out for him to be able to get a copy of the film to watch along with me, stuff like that. We were having a little bit of problems, and I kind of like got in the middle of all these other videos I was doing, so we're settling things down and sorting things out to get all this stuff kind of put back together for you guys in due time. So we still want to do the Ninja Turtles 1990 commentary, and we have a few other things planned out for the near future. But guys, that's what's going up soon on the channel there. Very glad to have these things done, because again, the Mission Impossible 3 video was saying I just wanted to jump on, get it going, because I had this long string of days open for myself. It's like, okay, I want to get something else out. I want to get something out quick after the Superman 2 one. And it was a really nice type of thing. Came out with like about a 25-minute video, so it's a much smaller one that I've been doing from these longer ones with the Constantine and Superman 2 and a few other things. So it was like a little briefer of a video, but a really solid, compacted type of thing. I really liked it, and the Blu-ray for Mission Impossible 3 had so many featurettes and stuff like that, made it really easy to get into the whole thing. A lot of information, a lot of great stuff going on. I really had a fun time putting that one together. It came out really well. So guys, hopefully you'll check that out when it goes up. So there's that. And we got couple of Blu-rays here and a little bit of other stuff here and there, but some stuff that will tie into other content coming up soon. But I did grab up Invisible Man on Blu-ray. I got this on the release week, and I was hoping, if I wasn't tied up with the Superman 2 review for so long, I would have tried to do it as a Blu-ray review. Just talk about the features, stuff like that here and there, but I just was too deep into that video to change tracks or anything like that. It was not going to get done soon enough, so I haven't even popped the disc in to watch any of it. But as I mentioned before, Steve and I both saw it. We very much enjoyed the hell out of it, and we had a slight bit of a chat about it in one of the commentaries we recorded that just give you a little taste of something. So I'm not saying what we're doing with it later on. I'm going to have something about this featured on the channel eventually. Just not sure yet. I don't know anything right now. So it's going to be something that's going to be put on pause, and I'll figure things out, because I do want to get back into some horror reviews, but we'll see how things kind of feather out here and there, whatever the case you want to call it. But I have some things on the queue. I just haven't really felt as motivated to get to those things as I have for other stuff lately. So we'll get up on that. But did grab up this Bruce Willis 2-pack, because I really wanted to get upgrade on Last Boy Scout, as I mentioned last time, because the DVD, because again, I haven't watched the film in a long time. Always really liked it, but I didn't realize how bad the quality was on the DVD, because last time I watched it was just on a standard def CRT TV. So now when you're doing HDMI, scaling up, stuff like that, apparently there's no comparison whatsoever. The DVD is not good quality. The Blu-ray here, even though it's packed in with this other Bruce Willis, Walter Hill movie that I just have no interest in whatsoever, but now I have it, I can watch it, and I threw it in for a little bit. It's like, okay, yeah, the quality's really good, pretty damn good. It's probably not the best possible transfer you could possibly have, or encode, but only way you can get it in the US is on this double pack thing. There is a UK region free one, but it's kind of difficult to kind of get a good price on it, stuff like that. So Boomoos had this on like a used copy, and I got it for a nice lower price, so I just put it in on the order when I got it. But yeah, it's one of those things where Last Boy Scout is like, there was a lot of things with that film in terms of like background information, stuff like that, and how it didn't perform very well, that it was like one of these really big scripts from Shane Black that sold for like over $1 million, because he's hot off of stuff with Lethal Weapon, stuff like that, so he was a hot property. Tony Scott directed it, so he's hot off of Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder. He's on this big roll of blockbusters, and of course you got Bruce Willis, who's one of the most profitable movie stars going on at the time. Damian Wayans is kind of coming up on the crest of things here and there, but it's one of those things where like they put it out in December and it didn't do very well, and I don't think the reviews are terribly kind to it. So I know there's a lot of people who really like the film. I've always really liked it, This ain't to really kind of assess. I've always been kind of like lukewarm on going back and watching it for a review. Probably because it's been so many years since I watched it. I was like, okay, I'm not sure how much my opinion remains solid for it. Especially when I have it going back and looked at it as a very analytical eye. But I don't know. I just want to. It's nice to have the upgrade, knowing how bad the DVD compares now. I'll definitely at least watch it at some point, and maybe we'll get around to something eventually with that on the channel. But regards to that, we got other stuff coming up here, because I mentioned this on the last video where I was talking about this Jim Caviezel sci-fi movie Outlander, which just upgraded, stuff like that. And this might be the next review I do. I might be doing that, because I got to sit down and watch it, because it's been 8 years since I last watched the film. So it's, again, another thing I need a little refresher on, but I was like, I did a review for this for the WordPress blog for Forever Cinematic way back when, and was very positive. So at least I have a record of a very positive analysis of the film to maintain that quality for me, to give me that kind of perspective on it. So that's definitely something that's up on the intention of being reviewed soon. So it's kind of a good thing that, again, I got Superman 2 out, then I've got this Mission Impossible review out the next week. I feel like it gives me maybe a license to kind of do something that's a little lesser known that I want to get into, maybe introduce some people to. And so it'll kind of work out very nicely, especially with the commentaries coming back in. Everything will fill out very nicely. I kind of like last couple months without having the commentaries has been a little trying here and there, because I was like, I don't like, even before the commentaries, I didn't like having too much time on the channel without having something dropping. Where it was just an update video or something like that. I always like to have something maybe about a week and a half between things. And it was just like a little hard to keep the pace that I wanted to go at to get the reviews done. So it was like, it was just kind of it was a little bit more pressure on myself than I was used to having for a long time there. So that stuff is definitely past us at the moment. And we got a whole queue of things put together. So we got a good long track to move forward on and stuff like that. So in regards to that, this is something I really want to get to eventually. I'm going to watch it, and there's special features on this thing with a making of, commentary track, stuff like that. So there's a good amount of stuff on here to inform a review, to get a little bit of background information on the production and other good things. So a lot of things to talk about in this. But in terms of TV series, as I've been kind of like doing this little spotlight type of thing over the last couple updates for just kind of fun and whatnot. In the last week, I've been watching some sci-fi stuff. I was watching Star Trek Voyager, some episodes I kind of had already watched, like when I was doing this sort of like Star Trek thing back in November, which ended up me doing the Voyage Home review. And so I was kind of rewatching a lot of those same episodes because they're really good episodes, stuff like Scorpion, where they do the whole first encounter with the Borg stuff and all that type of stuff. One of the best episodes there, two-parter, and just kept following on throughout the next season and whatnot. But so watching that, I kind of switched over to the X-Files, because I have the first 8 seasons on DVD, and it's like, that's really cool stuff. I haven't watched X-Files in a long time, but it's a little dreary in its tone or whatnot. It wasn't as, I couldn't keep going with it as long as I wanted to. I need to switch it up back to Voyager, because it has a little bit more vibrant pace or whatnot, a little bit more energetic type of thing. X-Files is a little bit more moody and atmospheric, so I need a little bit of a change there before I got into some darker episodes on X-Files. But kind of thing I want to spotlight here is that it was something that was, I think it was mainly from like more or less a lot of the same producers or production team that worked on the X-Files, because you can definitely feel it here, because this is about a 2006 series from ABC, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But Daybreak is one of these things where it was a really kind of interesting sort of like short run series. There was about 13 episodes here, and this was released in the time where they kind of did like these mid-season break type of things, and they kind of wanted to drop something in the schedule when they're doing like over the holidays, stuff like that, this November, December, January, where things are getting a little thinner and they don't have as much new content coming out on the programming, so they kind of dropped this in there. They kind of pulled it from the schedule before the last couple of episodes aired. You had to watch them. Bear in mind, this is 2006 internet. You had to watch the rest of the episodes on their website. So it wasn't like Hulu or the other streaming services you have now, where you got this glorious 1080p. I had to watch it in 2006 internet video, and anyone who knows stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. But in regards to that, the basic premise of this whole thing is like kind of that Edge of Tomorrow type of thing, Groundhog Day, whatever you want to go with. And X-Files even did a episode kind of like this with the repeating day setup. And so Taye Diggs plays a LAPD cop, detective, who gets caught in this repeating day of trying to, he gets ensnared in this sort of conspiracy of sorts that each day resets, he has to get a little bit more information about it, what's going on, and get a little bit deeper into it, and go in these different scenarios, and the sort of almost choose your own adventure type of thing. Like, he makes this choice this day and goes off in this direction, and things go off in the wrong way. And it's not like Edge of Tomorrow where he has to die every day to reset it. The day just resets regardless. So until he's gone through the day enough times to figure out what is going on and break the conspiracy down, not until that does things kind of move onward. So again, this is a really good series. You've got guys like Mitch Pileggi, who was at X-Files as Walter Skinner, Moon Bloodgood, you got Adam Baldwin, you got some Victoria Pratt, a lot of good talent in this whole thing, and like really just full expansive cast of people. And I wish there was some more information I can glean off the packaging here. There's not as much, but they got, if you ever get the DVD set, I couldn't find it anywhere on streaming for what I could do on a quick search, but they got episode commentaries for every single episode. They got some other good stuff here and there, but I really enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed it, obviously, because I was enthralled enough in it to kind of go off and track it down, watching on their website to engage with it and finish it off and buy the DVD set, stuff like that. So really good stuff overall. Just trying to glean a couple of names off this thing here and there to kind of see if there's anyone to mention here or whatnot. But Rob Bowman, he's one of the directors. He does a lot of good stuff. He did X-Files. I think he did some stuff on Supernatural. Really solid TV director overall, but they had a really solid cast and crew on this whole thing. It feels a lot like the X-Files in terms of the cinematography and the mood and the production values. It has that sort of feel to it overall. I think they do have a couple of one or two of the producers from X-Files involved with this whole thing. So they had a very consistent sort of carryover feeling to that. So if you very much are a fan of like X-Files, this is something that could be sort of a offshoot sort of thing in terms of mood and atmosphere and concept that you can kind of get a little bit into. I thought it was really good. I think also Jonathan Banks' the whole thing is one of the big shadowy figures in the whole thing. So you got a lot of good juice off of this thing. I mean, if it happens to be anywhere up on streaming, go ahead and kind of like throw it in the comments below, because I did a quick search and it didn't seem to be there. But I think you can get this DVD set for pretty cheap. I think it's really worthwhile. It's a good, again, 13 episodes. It's a nice binge-worthy sort of episode length, episode run, and I really like Taye Diggs. I think he was a producer on the show. He's the main star, and it's like I like his energy. If you saw my House on Haunted Hill review, just like I really like what he brings to the screen. He has a charisma. He has a freshness to him. Just really has a good thing going for him, and like there's so many good things going on. Again, there's like Mitch Pileggi and Adam Baldwin being kind of like almost heavies in a certain way. They're not like straight out villains, but they have that same type of energy that you're kind of used to when X-Files or Firefly or whatnot. Good, solid cast overall. I think it was really well written and very interesting. Doesn't entirely answer all the questions by the end, but you might kind of enjoy that in a certain way. But I don't know if there was ever kind of like a thought in the back of the head of anyone to maybe do a second season, but obviously because they pulled it from the schedule, there was no hope whatsoever of continuing on anything regarding that. But I think it's a really goddamn good show that gets definitely overlooked and never had a Blu-ray release, but they definitely have done some DVD re-releases with the same features and everything like that. They kind of licensed it out, maybe to like Mill Creek or something like that. But regardless, this is definitely worth checking out. I think I really would very much enjoy that, get it off the same vibe of, again, X-Files, stuff like that. So I really much endorse it. Go check it out if you have the opportunity to. and stuff like that. So I thought that was a really good thing to share with you guys, because I was watching the X-Files stuff. I was watching like late season 1 into season 2, so it was kind of this really good vibe, some very old stuff to kind of dig back into the kind of the primordial startings of the really good phases of the series and everything like that. So really cool stuff overall. So I already want to get back to watching more of it and just get into that vibe. So that's cool stuff, and hopefully you guys are doing well and really checking out the new stuff we got coming up on the channel here. So we really much appreciate it, because we just hit 7,000 subscribers here. So I can just see that there's a lot of things happening for the channel right now, and feels very good. So despite all the other things going on around us, there's a lot of good people kind of checking out content that's very positive and very celebratory, stuff like that. So I very much appreciate you guys. All the newcomers to the channel, all the newcomers to Patreon, thank you so much for checking things out and committing your time and some other things to the growth of the channel here. So that helps a hell of a lot. To comment, like, subscribe, and share things around, all that type of stuff. It means so much. And again, Patreon, if you have it, if you're able to, good stuff coming up. You're going to really enjoy these commentaries. We had a fun time. We got some stuff coming up in July that you're really goddamn going to just blow your minds over. It's great stuff. I just don't want to tease it yet until we're ready to put it up online here. Ready to put it up on Patreon. Once July 1st hits, we'll have some other new stuff coming up on the commentary. So guys, thank you so very much. Trent, Steve, and I are very much appreciative of you guys just engaging all over the place, and thanks so much. So guys, take care, stay well, bye-bye.